Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's 3WMD podcast. 3WMD is the best place online to hear the biggest and funniest news stories from around the world this week. I'm Jason.
I'm Mark.
And I am Rob. Welcome back.
Episode 4. How we all feeling?
Good. We've got a few big things to talk about this week.
Yeah, different stuff this week. No sex dolls, unfortunately, but maybe we'll have a double header next week.
No sex dolls. But I guess the first talking point, especially in the UK, has been the return of football. And it's come with some politics this time round. So what's going on, guys?
No way. Who starts? Me?
Go for it.
So yeah, 2 games kicked off yesterday. Both the games started with players taking a knee, and I think all staff as well. I think pretty much everyone in the stadium took a kney. And
you say everyone in the stadium, you know, fans.
Do they have sex dolls as well in the stands?
I wish.
Not this time.
Maybe tomorrow's games. I have faith in my team to do so.
I think it's a bit crazy though how footballers had to take the knee. Obviously, it's a good thing they did and such. But what if one didn't do it? That person, that footballer would be crucified.
It's like when you get some people that don't wear the poppy.
Exactly.
And, they get a complete backlash. I imagine they'd be kicked out of the game if they did it for this. But yeah, statistically, there's got to be someone that's a racist that plays in the Premiership, really, hasn't there?
Yes.
But I'm assuming that
because they have to do it, is it a bit empty gesture? Or is it good they're taking the knee and showing their support? I don't know.
I guess that's the big debate is should football get involved with politics? Because if you are trying to keep open-minded, then some people will think this is, something that shouldn't be done. And I guess if people have the right to protest and take a knee, then some people will have the right not to for whatever the reason.
Exactly.
That would be, even if it is because they're a complete dickhead racist. But yeah, they've also got NHS on the front of their shirts, and every single player name has been replaced with Black Lives Matter. And
that confused me brutally yesterday. I did not know that was happening. And then when I turned on the telly to watch the Arsenal match, for a second there, I thought there was a guy called Black Lives Matter that played for Arsenal, and I was like, "Oh, that's convenient." But then I realized, no, that's ridiculous.
Do you see Gary Lineker got in a bit of trouble?
No.
He tweeted, "My money's on Black Lives Matter to score first." And he got a big backlash against it. So now he's being called casual racism. He's like, "My money's on Black Lives Matter."
That's
casual racism. So Gary Lineker also got a little bit of trouble with that. Find that quite funny.
That's a doozy. Yeah,
that must have been super confusing to watch, to be honest.
If you was a new commentator and you were doing that game, you'd be screwed.
Yeah, your first job.
But yeah, that was very confusing for a second.
So NHS on the front, Black Lives Matter on the back.
No one, I assume, has a problem with the NHS bit. It's just a secret few. Not even so secret, actually, because I was scrolling through comments on Premier League pages and football pages, and a lot of people, the kind of crew you expect, the hashtag All Lives Matter, and why are people, getting involved with politics, and people are just basically. The way I approach things like this is if it's not doing anyone any harm, then why kick up a fuss about it? The intent is good, so allow it to happen. But
it's because people love to hate. They have to find something wrong with everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate social media so much.
To complain. There was one comment though I saw, which I can't say is coming from a racist point of view, but his opinion is something that I've kind of mentioned in the past, where he said, if a shooting of a black man happened in the UK, do do you think people in America would be protesting and rioting over there about something that's happened here? And I kind of thought he's got a fair point, because I think our media is so Americanized.
Yeah. They probably wouldn't even know it happened over here.
No, exactly.
No. And I think if that happened in Germany or France or Netherlands, we wouldn't care. I think it just happens so much in America, and America's news is so dominant around the world. Yeah. It has influence on everyone. It's kind of a shame, really, because America is not necessarily the greatest kind of influence on the world. I mean, if you look at countries
they're a terrible influence.
Exactly. If you look at countries like Denmark, the Netherlands, Finland, Germany, even, they've,
sure,
they're doing
like
the right things.
How much shit and bad things happen every day in the world, yet all we read about is Donald bloody Trump. Yeah. And whatever he does has minimal effect on our lives, yet so much bad shit's constantly happening, but we never know it. And that's because all newspapers and broadcasting companies, they're biased to a political affiliation where they get the money because it's also corrupt. It's freaking annoying, and that's it's a frustration, definitely.
And the Prime Minister of New Zealand, she's absolutely smashing it over there, and it's like, why?
She's great.
Yeah, why is she not more in the limelight and more on everyone's lips, like talking about her?
But also though, for that, although they've done very well, why the hell did they not test 2 people coming from England to New Zealand?
I read that. Right.
That's just pure rookie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize how annoying the New Zealand accent was until recently.
Yeah.
It cuts right through me. Yeah.
What else are we talking about on the the fake audio.
Yeah, now that was interesting. That's because
what was it?
So Sky played fake crowd noises from previous matches over the top of the games yesterday, because obviously there's no crowds.
Yeah.
And I think it made it seem more normal, because I watched some of the German football, and it's like watching them train. There's no atmosphere. It's hard to get involved. Whereas yesterday, I could actually just in my mind think it was a normal game if I weren't looking into the crowds.
Yeah. I initially thought the fan noises were being played on speakers, because I heard rumours that was going to happen. And then when I realised the game is actually being played in silence, and we're just hearing the audio over the commentary, kind of, I thought it's kind of clever. I mean, I prefer to watch it that way. They even put like little like when De Bruyne scored his penalty against Arsenal, they had cheers.
Yeah, they must have guys on these audio buttons waiting for their moments, like radio DJs. The sound effects.
Can you imagine if you just master that skill of like, there's a close shot, and they just play the.
Maybe we need to invest in someone to do sound effects in the podcast.
Yeah. We need that.
We need to do an absolute zinger of a line.
We need some sound effects, don't we?
We do need a jingle as well.
Yeah.
Any listener wants to write us a jingle and send it in, we will pay you with hugs and kisses. When Corona is over. Yeah, virtual hugs and kisses.
Yeah, real ones afterwards.
So carrying on slightly from the football theme is I've noticed in the news every single day is Rashford.
Oh yeah.
So he's been taking the political line a bit, blurring it a little bit more. So he won in the end. He beat Johnson. He's an ex-prime minister, right? Rashford, that's what I've heard.
I think they just buckled down because of who he was, essentially. Like, there's always going to be a backlash. If it's someone famous, especially if it's a footballer, they're going to get a lot of backing from pretty much definitely the whole club that he plays for. And if Germany, in this case, as he's English, most of the nation will back them. It's a good thing what he done. Very good. But I feel like that would never have got overturned if it wasn't a Premiership footballer doing so. If that had been one of us, nothing would have been come of that.
Is the basic story of this then that I don't know what's going on in schools right now, but the kids were getting these benefits and then they were going to get taken away, and then Rashford appealed, it got turned down, and then it got like there was like a U-turn on the decision.
Overturned.
I believe that was for only over the summer holidays though. It wasn't taken away in full, I don't think.
Okay.
Then Rashford kind of published an open letter, and then Johnson was like, no, but then suddenly they completely changed their mind.
I saw on the news one of someone else in Boris Johnson's little clan. He did an interview, and he called him Daniel Rashford.
Is that casual racism as well?
He said, no, I fully support Daniel Rashford for coming forward. They're like, oh no. Daniel Rashford. All you had to do, one job, know his name.
I think if I ever met a footballer, I'll purposely also call them the wrong name just because I'll hate them so much though. Out of pure jealousy, obviously, but I'd also do the same.
I don't think you would if it was a Liverpool player though. You'd be on your knees noshing them off, I'm pretty sure.
That's the fantasy. That's pretty much all I think about.
Although, if you told me, I just sucked off Jordan Henderson, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Jordan
Henderson deserves a good suck off. He's a legend. He's an absolute legend. You hate everyone who's...
He is stealing a living.
He is like England's
He's not good enough to play for Liverpool.
Best central midfielder ever.
Whoa. Very controversial.
Ever in the last 2 years. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, that took a very big U-turn from Rashford. Yeah. Is this your school dinner, Jason?
Rashford
You're not doing a new a new feature of what football players would you most like to suck on?
It would not be Henderson.
That's all it is. That's the only answer.
Yeah.
So Mark hates the fact footballers are getting involved in politics. Maybe he wants them to do no good. But in general, Rashford did a good thing. Right?
No, he did a good thing.
Mark just hates him because he's not a Tottenham player and he's better than Kane.
That's disgusting. No one would ever agree with that. Except, no, not even. Yeah, no, he done a good thing. I'm happy he did it, but I'm just saying he wouldn't have got very successful with that if he wasn't a Premiership footballer. That's
true. But I think it's good to use their influence to make positive changes. So the question is, why don't more footballers try and do things to help the world? Because they can. But they don't.
A lot of them don't care.
Not their job. Great answer.
A lot of them don't care. Some do. Some do. Some you'll probably find a lot of them do things that we just don't hear about.
Also, things like this should be a no-brainer, really. I mean, Rashford says he used this benefit himself when he was a kid, so he's,
I think he grew up pretty.
I'm assuming they cut it because of how much money they're spending on shit. They're trying to save money somewhere. That's all I can guess.
That's the big talking point, though, isn't it? Because there's shitloads of things that they spend money on that doesn't deserve financial backing that they give. So it's always going to be the most needy that are going to suffer.
Exactly.
So Super Rashford King.
As long as he doesn't do anything tomorrow night, I'll be happy. It's fine.
He's going to score a hat-trick. All right, so based on our earlier conversation, we can switch things up and move to the US, move away from the UK.
Surprise.
So obviously Black Lives Matter and protests and killings is still rumbling on. So this week there's been some more happenings. So there's been another black man being murdered, being shot by the police. In this case, it's Rayshard Brooks. This kind of story is he was found asleep in his car, blocking a lane of a Wendy's restaurant. So the police came to see what's going on. I think he failed a drinking test or a drink driving test.
He failed a drinking test.
Alcohol, whatever it is, sobriety test, they call it in the US. So anyway, the story is there's a video of him kind of been chatting to the policeman about 40 minutes. and he seemed quite lively, slightly impaired, but in general okay. 40 minutes, he was complying, he was being normal. They did a weapon search, they checked his identification, but then suddenly everything turned bad. So they tried to handcuff him, and they tried to be a little bit tougher to arrest him, and then he began to struggle. So he then punched a police officer. He grabbed another one's stun gun. So he did act out. But then he tried to run away. And then the policeman, what's really creating the backlash, the policeman shot him in the back while he's running away and killed him. So it was the interaction was going okay. Then suddenly it all switched and changed. Rayshard Brooks was then shot, killed, and now the policeman who shot him is being charged with murder or faces murder charges. So that's a big development this week. I think this is one where they burned down the Wendy's restaurant as well, right? So that was set alight, and obviously that's got a big thing. So yeah, it's another one, another black man in America killed by police. If he's running away, could have they handled that a lot better? Does he need to be killed? What made him struggle?
It shows how mad America is when there's like a heightened some kind of sense of like unrest in the country, and these things just keep happening on a weekly basis. Like there's stories on top of stories on top of stories of this type of thing. And I know skeptical people will say, oh, you know, this guy attacked the police first and he shouldn't have resisted arrest. But in my opinion, there's very, very, very few cases where you should shoot someone. And I don't think that's one of them. I mean, if he had a machine gun and he was in a store and he was threatening to shoot everyone, then yeah, shoot him and take him out. But he was drunk in the car park and it was like early hours in the morning, no one's around. I saw the video.
He wasn't driving. Yeah, he wasn't driving right. He was also parked.
Yeah, it's another thing.
He was blocking the entrance or the drive-through lane.
And it's
another interesting point here, just to button quick, is Donald Trump has got involved. So he's pretty much backing the policeman. So he's saying he hopes the policeman gets a fair shake, is treated fairly, and he's saying how you can't resist an officer like Rayshard Brooks did as well. So
controversial.
So yeah,
classic Trump.
I think you'll probably find this is probably happening on a weekly basis, and it's just getting highlighted more. What's going on in the world right now, and it's gonna keep getting highlighted. I can't imagine this is going to get swept under the rug, but it's just the sorry state of things over in America, really.
The fucked up thing is, there will be people who say, you know, you can't blame the police for shooting him, blah blah blah, but you know, all three of us have been drunk and crazily drunk and done stupid things when we're drunk, and you don't expect to get killed by a policeman for it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think this always goes back to the whole everyone could have a gun in America, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a policeman and you're going up to anyone, white or black, there's always a, hey, this guy or this person could have a gun, right? It's going to be a scary place to be.
That's true. Yeah, because if you're a policeman here, you're not necessarily going to go into any incident assuming that they have a gun. Where I imagine in America, they probably all would assume that. And that's probably going to make them more jumpy as well. Like, even if they're generally not doing it, like, for a racial reason, or just an overreaction, they might be more jumpy when you think they could have a gun and tell me. And these are things that will never change in America, because even if they now made it like illegal, there's so many hundreds of thousands of guns in that country. They'll always be popping up somewhere, aren't they?
And that's why this situation is not going to get better anytime soon. It's going to still be here in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I guess.
Can it get better? Because you're never going to... Obama tried his hardest to get guns.
That's the crazy thing I always think, right? There's always this suddenly Black Lives Matter's back and it's a big thing. And I've like watched a documentary on kind of the crime and the legal system in the US and how it's really against black people. Like there was a black president for 8 years, yet things didn't improve. So what will improve them?
I think you could take the viewpoint that there's always someone higher up than the president, even that makes even bigger decisions that the president doesn't have power over. And I think I heard, like, back when Obama was president, that if he actively tried to ban guns, he basically wouldn't win the election, because there's such backing for their right to hold arms, and it's it's their right as an American to bear arms, blah blah blah, and defend themselves. It's such a ingrained thing in their culture that he would have never been president. So
I'm not sure it'll ever be a situation in America where guns aren't as popular as they are now. It's always going to be the case. There's not a lot you can do to stop that now.
It's the only answer, really, though, isn't it? Because when people were saying, racism is not as bad in the UK as the US, I think that's a bit of a stupid statement, because racism is just part of human nature and it's all over the world. But the difference is our police are luckily quite timid, and Americans are not. And American civilians also are more dangerous because of what they're allowed to carry on them. So it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
I think that's where the big problem is.
And kind of sticking with this subject, it's quite a disturbing article we come across, which is the 4th black person found dead by hanging in the US. So all suspects authorities believe it's been suicide hangings, or the more sinister viewpoint is, are lynchings happening again in the US, where black men are being killed and hung. It's pretty scary.
That's something I can't even don't even want to try to imagine that could happen now. But yeah, sorry, go on, Mark.
No, I'm just saying it's pretty fucked up, this situation. What's going on with these hangings at the moment?
Yeah, my initial reaction to hearing the story is like, surely this is suicide. And then I thought, wait a minute, he's hung himself, but why would he do it in front of a big American flag in front of the town hall? Like, if I wanted to hang myself, I'd do it in my bedroom, or I'd do it in my living room. Like, why
he wanted to make an impact?
Yeah, that is, I guess, an argument.
I don't think hanging yourself from that is going to have done much difference to what's been going on with other situations surrounding the race, black people at the moment.
That'd also be like an extreme statement. I mean, no matter how passionate I would be for a cause, you would have to have like a kind of mental illness or depression or I don't know, unless they were so, I don't know, on the edge already, and then what's happening in America is just taking its toll on them. But then there's 4 of them.
Maybe they believed in getting 50 virgins after death if they become martyrs for the Black Lives Matter movement. Maybe that's also a thing.
The first 2 was Robert Fuller and Malcolm Harsh, right? So
yeah.
Apparently this happened like 50 miles apart. I think it's 55 miles apart or something. So that's a bit suspicious. I mean...
Yeah, in context of America, that isn't very far.
No, not at all.
You may argue that was pretty far away if you were saying in England, but that's pretty similar.
I mean, if there is people like the KKK going around lynching people, then that would be a reasonable distance to travel. But yeah, there's no real evidence either way that this is a lynching or a suicide at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully we find out.
An interesting point in Fuller's case, so that's Robert Fuller, his death was classed as suicide, but now the medical examiner coroner has withdrew that initial findings, and now the investigation is ongoing and pending again. So they are re-looking at the Robert Fuller case for sure, taking a look deeper is what they said. So yeah.
So there could
you imagine though if lynchings are back? That'd be crazy.
That would just be even more fucked up with considering the movements going on at the moment. Like, is this like a protest against it by doing this, or because this could open an even bigger can of worms? But I guess we'll find out soon. Maybe. Crazy. Right. Well, on that note, I think we are at the end of this segment. So we're going to go for a quick break. And when we come back, we've got a few more topics to discuss on a slightly more light-hearted note for some of them anyways. But yeah, go for a quick break. And yeah, we'll see you after the break.
Cool.
That was a good one. Hello and welcome back to part 2, everyone. So we're going to start this section off with a quick update on Corona. It's still a thing. It's still happening. So, Rob and Mark are in the UK. What's the latest over there?
Yeah, today there was another 135 deaths. So it is coming down. Not coming down as quickly as we like, although the weekend figures were like very low. So although they have not recorded as much at the weekends, but it was down to like 35 one of the days, which is like the lowest it's ever been. So we're getting there. There's also, they've changed their contact tracing app thing now. It's going to be something. Yeah, it's now going to be something with Android and
so it didn't
iOS.
work on iOS, right? So they had to change it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're doing with it, but it's not going to be ready for a while now.
I've downloaded the one in Germany. Here in Berlin, I've got the Corona app. Yeah. I'm currently low risk. Good to know. So yeah.
Why the fuck can't they just steal other countries' ideas and use that? Fancy.
I'm showing it to everyone. You can't see.
You are low risk. So it's safe to talk to you over Zoom.
Yeah.
I think so.
Why can't we just use that app then? Why can't they just...
Yeah. Exactly. Even there's a hacker group in Germany who've literally checked it out because it's really, really strict. So data's a really, really big issue in Germany because of Germany's history. And then even a hacker group has checked and they're like, it's amazing. It's pretty good. So
we're getting mugged off again. We'll get it in like 2045 when it's not even a thing anymore. But it's going to be a world-class app, they said. But they said that a few days ago, and then now they've changed it. So I don't know. God knows.
Okay.
So,
one of the stories we've got this week is David Icke has been kicked off Facebook. So this brings up a conversation around freedom of speech and who controls what we read and what we can't. So in this particular example, Facebook have decided that the page of conspiracy theorist David Icke should not be seen by anyone for health misinformation that could cause physical harm. Yet they got Trump saying you can freaking drink cleaning products or whatever. So, but that's allowed, but this guy can't talk about what he talks about. So what he's saying is there's no proof that coronavirus was created in China or it comes from animals. He's saying it's linked to 5G mobile phone networks, as an example, and lots of other crazy stuff.
Wasn't one of the things he's saying is it doesn't even exist at all?
Yeah, and then they said they've overhyped the numbers just to make everyone more scared. But what bullshit? Who the fuck is thinking that you can get this from 5G? like
it's been a thing for a while. There's been multiple things about these 5G masks and things that are causing it. And then, of course, Huawei, the Chinese mobile phone, are doing 5G stuff in the UK, right? And stuff.
It's just unfortunate timing, isn't it? But a lot of this is stemmed from America. There was rallies about the 5G giving people. Those are just fucking idiots. So
here's a list of examples of what else Mr. Icke has done. So he falsely claimed that a Jewish group was behind coronavirus. So he's falsely claimed 5G network.
It doesn't exist, but if it does, it's definitely Jews, right?
He says it's not possible to catch virus from shaking a hand. And he also, in a Twitter post, falsely claimed Germany was moving to legalize rape for Muslim men. Okay, that's not coronavirus related. That's really random.
What?
Guys, this guy's
I know. There's a reason he's been censored. He's a fucking knob.
I also just read he's a believer of the lizard people, which is one of my favourite conspiracies. Yeah. Like a lot of people believe the Queen's a lizard, right? I don't know if you've heard that before, but it's definitely a thing.
No, I
heard
don't
that.
understand. What is it?
Have you been hanging out with David Icke?
Yeah, it's a thing. Like,
He is David Icke. It's Rob.
I reckon if you want to test it right now, if one of you Google is the Queen, I reckon the top thing would be a lizard.
I'll check.
Let me go. I'm doing it right now.
Or it'll be in the top. There's a.
I'm going on google.de, but I will.
Is the Queen German, dying,
German, yeah.
stepping down, married,
sick.
alive, still the Queen, okay, and ill. So no, lizard
No,
was not
lizard.
on there.
No lizard. Yeah, it doesn't.
I put A, and now it says billionaire. Is the Queen a mechanic? I did read actually that she did take a course. She took a course and is a qualified mechanic. I did hear.
Or imagine the Queen
Yeah.
fixing your car.
I'm gonna put L. Is the Queen a leader, alive, a lead singer?
Oh my God! Now this is controversial because I think Google
Is Queen Latifah pregnant?
is hiding something. Okay,
I think you dreamt this, Rob.
Queen
No,
is-
so what Dave, I've got an answer. So what David Icke said, the royal family are blood-sucking alien lizards. That's what he said.
Yeah,
According to
the
The Guardian, why 12 million Americans believe alien lizards rule us. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Okay, it's just slightly different.
So he thinks they're shapeshifters who drink human blood to look like us. Also, this David Icke guy once said he is the son of God. So he sounds like an absolute crazy mofo.
I mean, I'm glad he's censored. But
Maybe he's really clever. Maybe he's right about all of this.
David Icke has come up on my search when I typed in Queen Lizard.
Queen Lizard.
Yeah. Lizards in Buckingham Palace. Apparently it's a David Icke thing. So maybe this whole thing that I heard from 2006 was because of this guy that we're talking about.
I've just come across a conspiracy theory telling me Finland doesn't exist. So, you know, who knows? Anything is true.
Has anyone ever been
apparently
to
Justin
Finland
Bieber's a reptile.
So is George Bush and all the presidents of America.
The other one is Queen Elizabeth is a cannibal.
Interesting.
So you got to be careful. You just don't know your next door neighbor these days, you know?
It could be alien lizards, alien blood-sucking lizards.
That is the dream. But, well, that took a very sideways turn. But
yeah, I kind of lost the whole point of the topic.
Coronavirus, of course. That's all anyone talks about. So with David Icke, he's been banned. No one likes him. We're not allowed to believe anything he says. Is that because he's probably telling the truth and everyone knows it and all the rich people are too scared? Or he's just crazy?
I think he's just influencing too many idiots, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I agree, though, there should be free speech.
But why does Facebook have the right to say he's wrong? Like, well, some things he clearly is wrong, but can they?
I guess it's a dangerous time,
Can they prove
isn't
the Queen isn't a lizard?
But Trump's got censored on Twitter now, so maybe they're just clamping down on certain people. But obviously, there's going to be less people looking at David Icke than Donald Trump. So maybe
it's crazy because I think I heard somewhere a while back that all the major news stations are owned by just a couple of companies. So all the news,
like 4 or 5.
Yeah. So now
Rupert Murdoch.
Now we can get news from anywhere and from anyone, like David Icke. I mean, yeah, like you said, does Facebook have the right to take that away from him? But everyone's able to spread their own news, which is what I was talking about this week as well. Like, even with these riots, you could either share all the videos of police beating up black men and saying this is what's happening, which is happening. Sometimes you don't see how it started. Sometimes it's, you know, completely disgusting and the police are at fault. Sometimes they might be just defending themselves. But, you know, you can take that route, or you could be like sharing stories that are biased on the other side. So everyone can share their own kind of bias and agenda now to spread their own kind of thoughts and feelings towards something politically.
Are you guys kind of worried or concerned about the possibility of fake news? So like when I am reading news and we're doing research for the podcast and stuff, I always think like this is probably or could be fake, and you just wouldn't know. Like, how do we check it? I think it's a real problem. But how do we fix it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's because there's so much fake news out there. It's very hard to verify things for people to block, but some things are just so out there that it's obvious immediately that you can. But there's going to have to be a lot of give and take with some things, which is questionable because unless they can be guaranteed, it's not right. But if it's going to endanger the public, for instance, like the Donald Trump one, drinking bleach will help. Then that's when they should be acting at their most. Like, now, this could kill a lot of people. But if it's just harmless stuff, which is just.
I once heard a rumor, Mark, that you also said that children can drink a particular cleaning product.
Really?
We were doing a presentation at college, and we had to create like a business plan for a cleaning product. And we had to do like a radio advert or something. And then Mark said, "It's so good, even kids can drink it."
Oh my God.
I didn't say it was so good. I was saying it was so safe that they can drink it. Yeah.
It was the funniest.
I was young and naive,
and it was
supple.
Recorded as well. I love to get that recording.
I got a 2-hour detention because I made a product called Exotica Erotica, which was named after a Channel 5 porn thing. When I was like in year 10, and I got like suspended for it because I drew like the bottle in the shape of a woman and stuff.
Sounds hot. Does this bottle have a girlfriend? A boyfriend? Yikes.
Maybe both.
Yeah. God, open-minded these days, guys. Relax. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Back on the fake news thing, you could argue that fake news has been around forever because, you could say the Bible was fake news. You could say every newspaper. It is controversial. That's what we do here.
It is controversial.
But every newspaper we've ever read has probably been fake news to some extent in our life. So
the amount of football players Tottenham are going to sign that were superstars that the Sun lied to me about. Emotional. Fake news will always be around.
We are controlled by the rich and the elite who can control the media and newspapers, and they tell us what we need to know.
That little video I showed you guys, by the way, is quite interesting. Just to go.
A little video, it's not like 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
4 hours.
But he was talking about how the local news is the best way to get news, and he said about all the stories that have contributed to like people getting arrested and justice being brought all came from local news because they're looking out for basically. And it's just talking about how big corporations are trying to even buy out these little local papers so they control all the information that we are getting, which is dangerous.
I blame Mark Zuckerberg for everything, but that's just me. So back to Corona a little bit. So big news, or news anyway, is illegal raves that are happening. So-called quarantine raves in the UK. It's pretty ridiculous, right? So the headline here is Greater Manchester illegal raves. A man dies, woman raped, and 3 stabbed.
Yeah.
Good old England.
I don't get it. I get people want to see their friends and stuff, but we can do that now anyway. But it's just, some people are just idiots. And this was going to happen. Can't be policed because it's illegal. There's going to be a lot of just mental guys and women on drugs going a bit crazy. And things were bound to go wrong, wasn't it? And never behold it have. So, what can you do? They're never going to learn, are they?
Just a thought that came to my head. Is that like a mental crazy night out? Or does that happen quite a lot? Like, if you just say everything's back to normal tonight, I don't know, like, average night out in Harrow could have 1 rape, 3 stabbings, and a man dying. I don't know, like, is it big news because of coronavirus?
I think it's kind of a release of whatever. So 6,000 people, and it's kind of an illegal thing. 6,000 people plus like a Hollyoaks actress or something ridiculous. But yeah,
it's
right.
stupid.
How many?
It's not very responsible.
Women are raped and men are stabbed or whatever in London every day. I don't know. Maybe
the coronavirus doesn't cause people to get raped or get stabbed. So
That's true.
It's kind of like two stories.
No, well,
unrelated.
hang on. I just read something David Icke said that coronavirus is linked. Yeah, it's ludicrous, isn't it? But it was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's bending the rules and there's rich, taking the piss.
15,000 though. Like, how did it take so long to get broken up to start with anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and after all the effort that people have gone through as well, I mean...
Oh, no. If we don't get a spike in the next couple of weeks, we won't get another spike because we've had all these protests, raves, the people at the beaches.
Yeah.
We had a spike in Germany.
Sorry?
We had a spike in Germany yesterday.
Yeah.
Was it a big
cases.
spike?
Yeah, so we had like 300 to 500 daily. Now yesterday was over like 1,100.
Oh, wow, really?
So that's a bit worrying.
Do you think any country would go back and like kind of regress to locking down strictly if there's a second spike? Because I don't think if the UK there is a spike, I can't imagine everyone just going, okay, let's lock down again, stop going to work. I can't see that happening.
I don't think many countries could afford to do it personally.
Exactly.
They said it would be suicide if Spain had to do it. They'd be the worst hit economically in the world.
So there was actually like an outbreak in Berlin, here in Berlin where I live. And so what they did, they quarantined 400 apartments. So like only a section of the city went on like lockdown. And these particular apartments in the poor area, and there's like 10 to 15 people in one apartment. So it's going to spread pretty quick. But only that area of the city got locked down. So that's the way they kind of try and handle it now.
That's different.
Crazy.
But Berlin
that's what the track and trace is supposed to be about.
Exactly.
They had the biggest BLM movement or protests in the world outside the US, right?
Yeah. Berliners love to protest.
Maybe that's where the spike came from.
Yeah, potentially. But they love protesting.
It could happen here as well, then.
Right, shall we move on to move away from coronavirus?
Hells yeah.
So some more light-hearted news articles we found this week, starting with Akoin, with the Akoin. So what this is the headline of the article is Akoin. So the rapper, is he a rapper? R&B and singer. All right, whatever. So he reveals a $6 billion construction plan for Akoin City. I would love to live there.
Is that in Senegal, where he's from? I believe it is.
That's a question I have for you.
I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, so it's going to be a cryptocurrency city, right?
So yeah, it's in Senegal.
And it's just going to roll. This is going to be a current cryptocurrency as the only currency.
So why is he not using Bitcoin? Why is he making his own coin just to make even more money, I guess?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Well, maybe because Bitcoin fluctuates. I don't think Akoin does.
Oh, okay.
So
is that the official name for it as well? Akoin.
Yeah, Akoin. Wow. It's very clever.
I love this guy.
Very egotistical.
He's living my dream. I would love to.
You did tell me when you were 12 you wanted to say that, to be fair. And you wanted to do a single with Eminem. You did say that. They were your two.
You can't really knock Akoin though, because he's done so much for Africa. He's done more than fucking Bob Geldof ever has. So he's making a big difference over there. I don't know what he's done. I mean, he's basically found a way to get past the kind of corruption in the continent, I guess.
But how rich is Akoin? Is he rich enough to do this, or that's what I don't understand really? Is he going to be paid by the coin?
I think Mark's bought.
I don't think he done this as a get rich scheme. This was just generally to try and attract tourism into Africa. This is still one of his good things he's doing.
I do want to see more of Africa. I say more. I've seen barely any of it.
you can see Senegal and we can get some Akoin.
So just a little note. So the first phase of construction is meant to be completed by the end of 2023. So that will include roads, hospital, mall, residence, hotels, police station, school, waste facility, and a solar power plant. And then phase 2 will be finish in 2029, and then is expected to exclusively run on Akoin cryptocurrency. And it's been earmarked as a special tax zone. So says the president of Senegal.
Oh, interesting. And yeah, see, he's just a good dude, right?
What if it goes balls up? Like, that would fuck up the country, right?
I'm glad you asked, because I just checked his net worth is $80 million. So I'm pretty sure he can... 80 million?
I thought it'd be richer. It's not like Dr. Dre, a billionaire. Like, 80 million?
Dr. Dre ain't spending his money to America, is he?
Dr. Dre has that filtered down money coming through, like Eminem, Snoop Dogg. You know, he's got record labels controlling minimal other smaller record labels.
Didn't he start Beats as well?
Akoin, yeah.
That was massive.
Akon's actually took a hit in his life because he only released an album again last year, and that was his first album since 2007.
Yeah, weren't you waiting for it for how many
10 years, man?
Mark?
And it weren't good.
Conversations. Was it not?
No, he's spending too much time sorting out Senegal than he was sorting out his.
How dare he?
Freedom was a decent album. I expected more. That's what I'm saying. I'll never buy Akoin again.
When I move to Akon City, when I see him, I'll tell him that my mate Mark says your album sucked.
Not Freedom.
Did I miss something then? What is Akon City? Is he building his own city from scratch in a desert?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly that. He literally from scratch.
It's gonna be called Akon City, and they're gonna use Akoin.
Yeah,
it's like he's living his own ego there.
But yeah,
I mean, name it after me. Although, have you ever looked up Akon's actual name?
No.
His actual name, I will get the pronunciation horribly wrong, but it is
Pressure.
Alioma Damala Badara Akon Tiam.
Oh, so it's got Akon in it. Okay.
Akon is the 4th of his 5 names, yes.
I think he chose the right one to go with as well.
Yeah, easy decision. So
he
wasn't
even born in Senegal.
Really?
He was born in St. Louis.
Really? America?
Yeah.
So he's American? Oh, wow, okay.
This has become like the Akoin fucking Wikipedia page, this podcast today. Yeah.
How old is he?
Does he have an African accent? I just assumed he did. Maybe I don't know at all.
I thought he did as well. Yeah, 47, Jason.
47. Yeah.
Crazy, right?
So it's going to be a futuristic city as well. I wonder what it looks like. Well, there's a picture here on his link. But I don't
Probably
know
in the shape of his face.
And who's going to live there? How expensive is it going to be?
It would be dangerous as well, I think, to have a futuristic kind of thriving city when the surrounding towns and cities are going to be poor and have, a lower currency or whatever, however you say it. I don't know what's going to happen.
Maybe this is part of the draw. People coming to Akon City might go elsewhere and pump more money into their economies, and then maybe they'll be a bit better. I don't know.
Build a wall.
Crazy stuff, man.
Crazy
what
stuff.
a good lad he is, though. Just needs better albums again.
So Senegal 2021, guys.
See you there.
We're doing it. We're going to go live next door to Akon.
I just hope. Go for it.
So I think I was going to move story. Should we move on?
Fine.
Yeah.
All right. So our last story is personal trainer who got cold sores, herpes, after kiss and date sues her for £130,000. So Martin Conway, 45, claims he was left traumatized by catching the herpes simplex virus from a woman he knew as Giovanna Lovelace. So she must be a what?
Be careful with your words. Don't judge her with her name.
Giovanna Lovelace. Like, no way.
Yeah, now that makes me think differently about this story slightly. If she was an escort of sorts, she definitely should not have been working that night. I've completely swayed my decision.
Get the money.
I've swayed my decision horribly on this. I was completely against him. But now I'm thinking if she was, I didn't even assume to me that she could have been an escort.
It doesn't say that she is, so I take that back. I do not know. It's just like it doesn't sound like a real name, right?
There's two ways of looking at that. If she was an escort, I am very much on his side. He was not traumatized. He's being a little bitch. But I would still think, okay, there's some money to be won out of that. If it was just a date, then that's on him, essentially.
No, exactly.
That's my opinion.
But
what
like,
about you?
So the name Lovelace is firstly, so there's obviously like a very famous film, Lovelace, which is about a porn actress called Linda Lovelace. Hence why I assumed it's,
Oh, you know all about this, Jason, it sounds.
my favourite film. I watch it.
No, that's The Notebook.
I love The Notebook. I haven't watched that for so long.
And
I'm doing it tonight.
like it?
Notebook. Rachel McAdams.
Anyway, back to the story.
Ryan Gosling. What more do you need in life?
You could just take that sample and you would sound like you're batting for a certain team. Yeah.
Anyway, so what about Mr. Martin Conway?
I think like it was literally this year or last year that I think it was Mark who told me that herpes is a lifelong thing. Like there's no cure for it.
It is.
And I did not
Yeah,
know
you
that.
can't get rid of it.
So that's the big thing here.
Yeah.
Big thing here?
Alive.
Oh, I
The
thought you
big
meant in
thing.
Berlin. I was like, what?
The big thing with this story is, so like he's going to have it for life. She knew she had it.
Yeah.
So this has now caused him either catching the virus for life. It's apparently stopped him from pursuing his dream career as a lawyer. He's too scared to leave his home. Blah, 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 blah. And he met her on meetup.com.
Oh, fancy website.
Meetup.com. So basic.
There are other sites out there
So,
if you need to meet other people.
With herpes.
We should start getting commission anyway. But yeah, is it like can you see the herpes on his face?
It's a cold sore, so yeah, you can see it.
Yeah,
and he's going to be permanently.
He won't have it constantly. It will just inflame at certain points during the year. When he's not inflamed, he cannot pass it on. But once he has it, he can pass it on to other people.
Mark is an expert.
Someone at work has it.
Is he contagious for life?
Someone at work.
Someone at work got him, and do you know how he got him? He got him from his mum.
Oh my days!
What's her name? Giovanna Lovelace.
Yeah,
was he doing kissing his mum?
She gave him a kiss on the lips when he was younger.
God.
And she had a cold sore, and now he gets some every time.
Oh my God! Imagine.
That's weird.
Yeah, naturally I do take the piss because you have to.
Just being someone that got herpes from their mum.
Yeah, see, you could persuade that a different way, and yeah, but no, yeah. So yeah, I did some research on this after that, but yeah, you cannot pass it on when it's not inflamed. Yeah,
okay.
You can only pass it on.
So just a quick
one.
one. He's claiming £100,000 compensation for fortnightly therapy sessions until he's the age of 79. So she's going to have to pay for his therapy session.
Bullshit. What? How much you use therapy for that?
That is bullshit. I mean, the fact that if he's contagious for life, I would say that deserves some sort of compensation because it's affecting future relations. But you don't need therapy for some fucking cold sore.
No, I mean it's very different as well. Just getting a herpes, on your on cold sore on your lip is a bit different to having like genital warts, for example, in that situation, because he won't be able to pass it on anyway that way. It's just
you're an expert with
Again, another friend had a sad situation earlier in the year with another girl.
Always a friend.
Can't say names on here.
A friend.
Rob knows all about this one, though. Not that it was Rob either, just saying that.
Rob, that's who the
Rob
friend
knows
was,
about it because he was told this story. He was told this story because it involves someone that we can hang out with occasionally, but I won't say names.
Yeah.
Tell me offline because I want to know.
Okay, I will do. But yeah, what a lovely ending to the story to this week's one, right?
Herpes, for sure. It's the way we should end every time.
Don't get
Sex dolls or
herpes.
herpes.
And don't kiss your mum.
Or
That's
yeah,
the one
Havana
thing
love
you've learned
legs.
from this.
Did you guys see that post I put up with that football presenter?
Did he have herpes?
No.
Funny note. No. Just talking about
When did
kissing
you
your
do
mum. He said, 69 today. Love you, mum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The comment was like, hope it's her birthday.
I hope it's ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
He must have got rinsed.
It wouldn't be a show if it didn't have something about incest in it somewhere, right? You know. But yeah, no, that was a beautiful ending to a. Hopefully next week we can end on something that's not about an STD. That'll be beautiful.
We can try.
We can try. Hopefully back to sex dolls next week. We'll do our best.
Yeah, there's worse ways to end a show on.
It is. That's very true. Kissing your mum.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for listening, listeners, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, Jason, where can they find us?
Don't forget to like us and follow us on YouTube.
And what is that free WMD?
Yep.
Is that correct, Jason?
Yep, exactly. So 3WND newscast, and our Twitter is 3_WND.
Correct.
So follow us, like us, tweet us, send us comments.
Ask us questions.
Do a shout out on the show.
Ask us a question and tell your friends, so we can keep on doing this. Cool. Well, cheers, guys. Catch up next week for some more fun chat.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, rabbits.
Peace out.